Alright, Illia Tuporia versus Max Holloway's face-to-face interview just dropped, and man, Illia cooked Max Holloway. Man, Illia smashed Max Holloway. Max Holloway had a lot of things to say. First of all, he said, fun thing is, we're gonna find out October 26th. Cold line, Max. Ooh, nice one. Pretty good. Go on. Say something else. Then he says, we'll see what happens. Let's see what happens October 26th. Okay, yeah, sure. Then he says, at the end of the day, we'll find out October 26th. And then he says, I can't wait for October 26th. What the fuck, Max? English is your first language, right? And you don't have anything to say except we'll find out October 26th. The same line he's using again and again and again and again. Reporter asked him like 20 questions and each of his answer was the same. We'll find out October 26th. October 26th, we'll find out. What the fuck, man? Illia made the interview very fun. First of all, Illia brings in the BMF belt that he bought. Man, isn't he fucking awesome? That is a fake belt. He bought it, but it makes up something that we can talk about, that Max can talk about, that Illia can talk about. It makes the interview fun. That's how you hype up the fights. That's how you make fun interviews. Max needs to take some tips, man. After that, Illia starts with like, I'm a fan of Max. And Holloway is like, oh yeah, this guy is a fan of me. The interview is gonna be boring. He's gonna be respectful to me. It is gonna be an easy interview, very boring like all of my other interviews. And this is gonna be an easy one. And then Illia cooks him with, after this fight, you're gonna be my fan. Man, Max Holloway had nothing to say back. He was done. He was almost starstruck. He was like, what the fuck is happening? Then Max Holloway comes up with the weirdest name, Blessed Express. And Illia can't even really say it. He's like, Blast Express, what is that? One of the weirdest names. And Holloway is the weird one here. Then Illia says, you have 7 defeats, brother. I have 0. You have 7 defeats and you know how to make a good comeback. You're a good example of that. After our fight, after I beat you, I'm sure you're gonna make another comeback. You're a good example. Man, he's cooking Max Holloway very badly. Then Holloway says a line. I don't think many people understood that line, but yeah, it was a decent one. At least he said something else than October 26th, we're gonna find out. He said, I'm gonna take your donut. I hope you like churros. Okay, so if you don't understand it, donuts are like zero shaped, so he wants to say, I have defeated a lot of fighters with undefeated record. And then he says, hope you like churros. Churros is shaped like 1. So after a fight, Illia, your record is gonna be 15-1. So hope you like churros. That's what he wanted to say. It was a decent line. I don't think many people understood that. Then the reporter brings up the Justin fight. And man, Illia Tuporia says the exact same thing I said. You can watch my last video. I've said the same thing. That was a boring fight for 5 rounds. Max Holloway was just jabbing Justin for 5 rounds. That's what that fight was. The only thing exciting about that fight was the last 10 seconds. And the last 10 seconds, Max knocked him out with there was no technique behind it. It was like a bar fight. They both started fighting like retards and Max Holloway just caught Justin and knocked him out. There was no technique behind that. That was purely a bar fight. And Illia said the same thing. I don't know why people give Max credit for the Justin fight. That was a fluke. They started swinging wildly. Last 10 seconds only. It was a boring fight before that. Then Ilya has said this thing before also. He said it again. Let's see the difference between. Let's bring the same energy that you had in the in the last 10 seconds, in the first 10 seconds. If you start swinging wildly like that in the first 10 seconds, man, I have so much power. You are gonna get knocked out, and you're so scared you will never bring that energy in the first 10 seconds. Then reporter asks Ilya, what do you think about Max saying he's the best boxer? And Ilya is like, brother, best boxer? That's a shame. Don't ever say that. You have no head movement. You have no punching power. You have no real technique. You take a lot of damage. You're a disgrace to boxers in UFC. Like, what the fuck? You are not the best boxer. You are nowhere near the best boxer. Then reporter asks Ilya that Max has never been knocked out. Why do you think you will knock him out? And Ilya comes up with another cold line. He's like, he has never been knocked out because he has never faced El Matador. He has never faced me. That's why he has never been knocked out. When he faces me, he'll be out cold. I'll take his head off. Man, isn't he fucking awesome? Then he brings up another cold line. Man, Ilya, man, I don't like it. English is his 6th or 7th language, and he's killing it. He's like, the difference between you and me is that you need to see it to believe it. But me, myself, I believe it and then I see it. Max Holloway shook, man. He has never thought somebody is going to cook him that badly. And then Max is like, this guy's a weirdo. And Ilya starts laughing, man. He's like, I'm the weirdo and you're the normal one. Oh, mamma mia. I'm the weird one. You're the normal one. That was very fun, man. And then Ilya starts shadowboxing, and Max is like, why the fuck are you shadowboxing? Go and rest. And Ilya is like, I want to scare you a little bit. Oh man. Ilya makes the interview so much fun, man. Max Holloway interview is never gonna be that much fun. If Max was against Volkanovski in a face-to-face interview, that was gonna be a snooze fest. Then Ilya says, I'm opening an old age home, and Volk is already there, and I'll bring you there too after the fight. It's gonna be free of cost. Don't worry about the expenses. I'm gonna keep you in my old age home. Man, his trash talk is very high level. He talks shit and his opponents have nothing to say. And Max, man, like the reporter is asking him final questions, and Max still comes up with the same thing. We're gonna find out October 26th. We're gonna find out Saturday night. We'll find out. Of course we will find out. Then why are we having this interview? Brother, say something else. We know we are going to find out October 26th, but we are having this interview so we can see if you have to say something else. You're just repeating the same thing again and again. And he says to Ilya, brother, you are repeating the same thing. And Ilya is repeating the same thing. Brother, you have said the same thing like 20 times. Ilya is not the one repeating the same thing. You are the one repeating the same thing. Ilya is like, bring your pillow, I'm gonna put you to sleep. He's just cooking Holloway all the way through, even at the end. Then Holloway starts making fun of his English. Like, what the fuck, man? You have nothing else to say. You are so bad at English yourself that you only are saying just one line, and now you start making fun of his English. And Ilya cooks him again, man. He says, let's talk in Spanish, let's talk in German, let's talk in Russian. He names like 5 languages. Let's talk in those languages. Fucker, I am talking in your language, English, your first language, and I am cooking you. Let's talk in all other languages and let's see what happens then. Man, this was a great interview, and Ilya, man, this is how you hype up fights. Other fighters need to take notes. Illia Tuporia, Dricus du Plessis. These guys know how to hyper fights. And Max Holloway, man, let's just hope he does not win, because featherweight will never be fun whenever he is champion. If Ilya remains the champion, featherweight is gonna get one of the most viewed divisions in the UFC, one of the most hyped up divisions in the UFC. Let's go El Matador. Let's go Ilya.